Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Entertainment Now. My name is Nick,
I'm Ian.
and today we're gonna be. This is the first video after the introduction, but it's the first video of the month of January that we're gonna take a look at some stuff that's coming out on streaming, some stuff that's coming out in the theaters. Kind of like a look forward to the month. But there was something I wanted to kind of touch on before we got into that. On the last episode, we were talking about Danny Masterson and his whole legal battle.
Hmm.
We were both kind of right because I thought it had been dismissed. You thought it was still ongoing. The in I think it was like the end of November, like November 30th. It was a deadlock.
Okay.
So the judge declared a mistrial, and they're going to restart the proceedings in March. So
Okay.
it's temporarily kind of gone away, but they will be trying him again.
Okay.
So I guess they were deadlocked before Thanksgiving, and the judge let the jury go on like a break for Thanksgiving, and then they came back, deliberated for like 2 more days, and he was like, "No, you guys can't reach anything. We're just going to declare a mistrial." So
Hmm.
you know. So the judge, they must have thought something that there was enough evidence to retry him again, because a lot of times they just don't. It's you go through and get a mistrial, and then you just kind of
Move on.
move on
Yeah.
in a lot of instances. So we'll see what happens with Danny Masterson though.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of hope that none of it's true, but at this point,
There seems to be a lot of smoke. Doesn't necessarily mean
right.
that the allegations are true or all the allegations are true, but even if some of the allegations are true, I mean, some of it's pretty shitty. So,
Right. Right.
and there's a lot of like Scientology ties in a lot of the threats, the alleged threats and things like that made to some
Right.
of the women too. So what?
No, they're just Scientology and
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was one thing I was like, why are so many people in Hollywood Scientologists?
because they're targeted by Scientologists to get
Is
recruited.
that what it is?
Yeah. So that you want people with power, you want people with influence.
That's true.
You're not gonna get politicians, I don't think, over to Scientology, not to the same extent, because
No.
it's a little woo. Um, and if you're not a Christian, most states aren't gonna elect you anyway. So
The
yeah,
I didn't realize it until not too long ago, but there's a huge Scientology church in downtown Detroit.
yeah, you were telling me about it. You took a picture of the building.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, my wife and kids and I, we were walking around. We went to like a Tigers game down there. We were just like walking around downtown. And I was like, what the hell? What the hell is this? I'd never even seen. I've been in downtown Detroit dozens and dozens of times over the
Right.
years, and even down towards like the Hart Plaza area where the church is, and I've never seen that there. So I don't even know how long the church has been there, but I'm like, is there really that big of a Scientology? I don't know what their cult is, what I want to call it, but
What you said,
in
cult?
yeah, in
Yeah,
downtown Detroit, that
it's if you go by numbers alone, they've far surpassed cult status.
yeah, I know that.
They're a
That was
full-blown
that
religion.
was my poor attempt at humor.
Yeah, because really, I mean, that's really the only distinguishing difference between a cult and a religion is just the number of followers.
The other thing is what's been going on with Brendan Fraser. I see Brendan Fraser's like finally back in like the news. Like he's actually allowed to work now after like 20 years of being blacklisted.
I don't even was he blacklisted? If he was, why was he
He
blacklisted?
said he was blacklisted. Well, because he made allegations against the vice president of the Hollywood Foreign Press or something like that.
Hmm.
He said sexually assaulted Brendan Fraser back in like
No,
2002 or 2003, and like he said, of course, this is all from Brendan Fraser's
right.
side of the story, but he says once he made those allegations, like his phone stopped ringing. He no
Yeah.
longer got job offers. You know, at one point of time, you know, Brendan Fraser was one of the biggest actors in Hollywood. He was like
Right.
the early 2000s versions of The Rock. You know, he's doing all like the mummy movies and things like
I
that.
would say better, but better than The
Yeah,
Rock.
I like Dwayne Johnson. I think Dwayne Johnson does a really
Oh,
good job for the.
he's fine, but you know,
He's
if you have a role and you've got late 90s or early mid to late 90s Brendan Fraser or Dwayne The Rock Johnson, I would take Brendan Fraser any day because at least he in his acting chops are a little bit stronger, which is what
I will say that I will say that Dwayne Johnson's gotten a lot better. Like the
yeah,
first couple of roles he got, it was like, you know,
he was
big
basically just
big
playing The
big
Rock.
strong guy that he playing the wrestling or the I guess like the acting version of the wrestler. But
Right.
he's definitely grown into more of an actor, especially like what was it, the Jumanji movies that he did, he actually did a really good job of those.
Yeah, those are a lot of times those actors tend to look better because of the ensemble,
Yeah.
you know. So I haven't watched the Jumanji movie, so I can't comment on
Oh
that
yeah, you
whether or
definitely
not
gotta watch them. They're really good, and anything he does with Kevin Hart's fucking hilarious too. But
yeah,
that's a
I
lot of I think
Kevin
it's
Hart
Kevin Hart.
I can take him or leave him. So
Yeah.
you know,
Um. Yeah, but yeah, back to
Brendan
Brendan
Fraser.
Fraser. Yeah, he's
He
actually like doing things now.
right. Well, he got that role in that movie, The Whale, and I
Yeah.
guess like it's like this fantastic performance. So I'll have to wait till I see it to make that determination.
Yeah.
But I guess he won an award already for it.
Yeah. Yeah. I know there's a lot of praise for it.
He was supposed to be in. He is. It's not supposed to be. He was in the Batgirl movie that was shelved by Warner Brothers forever.
Yeah. Which what was the whole reason behind that again?
Tax purposes. They wrote it off as a loss. They did it with a bunch of movies.
That's dumb. That's gotta
Yeah.
be the dumbest damn thing.
Well, that's what happens when you basically do a big house cleaning and merger
Yeah.
on two companies that shouldn't have merged together.
Yeah.
And you got a CEO who basically runs, Reality Central, Reality TV Central, Discovery, even though it's higher end, but it's still
Yeah.
reality TV, and he's making decisions for Warner Brothers films. Of course, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's
yeah,
unfortunate. It's
Michael
unfortunate we'll
Michael
never see it.
Keaton plays Batman in that movie. He's in that fucking movie as Batman.
Yeah. Which it's like of all the movies to shelve, that seems like the dumbest one to do it because it
Right.
seems like one that was going to make easily make money.
Right. I mean, it may not have been a big, if unless it was super good, which it very well could have been.
Yeah. Or maybe it was just garbage, and they were like, "Yeah, we can't really release this."
No, because they did it with a bunch of movies, and it really had nothing to do with. I think it had to do with the budgets.
Yeah.
You can write off if you're gonna shelve movies, you're gonna shelve the $100 million+ movies, budget movies, to
Yeah,
have
but
more to
you would
write
think it's
off.
almost like counterproductive because like even you could take one of those movies and that movie is still going to easily make several $100,000 in profit.
Million dollars.
No, I'm saying like on the low end, you're at least at the
Right.
end of the day, you're going to profit several
Right.
$100,000. So it makes no sense to take a movie like that and shelve it. But
apparently it was worth it to do for the tax write-off.
yeah.
So I don't know.
That's dumb.
Now the thing that I'm not sure about, because if they use it as a tax write-off for fiscal year 2022, does that mean they can wait until 2025 and release it?
I don't see why not.
Because I mean, technically it was a loss, and then it wouldn't be a loss. You know what I mean? So I don't know. But if they can do that, then that's probably what they will do. They'll be able to benefit twice from it.
Yeah. Or maybe they can't release it in theaters. Maybe they would do some kind of streaming exclusive or something like that.
Originally, it was supposed to be an HBO Max release anyway.
Oh, okay.
It was being made specifically for HBO
maybe
Max.
that's why they did it. Maybe they looked at that and they were like, "Look, we spent all this money on this movie. we
But
can't release it to HBO Max because we're not gonna make money back off of it. So we'll take it as a loss and then possibly wait a year or two, release it theatrically, and then actually make money off of it.
here's the funny thing though. There there's other movies that have been made that were made essentially initially for streaming, and they ended up putting them in theaters anyway.
Yeah.
So they could have put it in theaters, you
Yeah,
know.
they could have. Unless they had some kind of agreement with HBO Max that was going to be some kind of like HBO Max exclusive, and then, you know,
Mm, yeah, I don't
I
know.
don't know. I don't know. It really depends on what the agreement is. There's got to be some agreement there to
Yeah, I
to
don't
release
know.
it.
I don't know how that works, but I know HBO and Warner Brothers and Discovery need to get their shit together because
Yeah.
they're pissing a lot of people off, and they're like Henry Cavill, Ben Affleck, and Gal Gadot are actually contemplating suing Warner Brothers. Oh, the whole
They
was it
should.
Warner Discovery
They
because
should.
of the fact that they've been held to these contracts for so many years and nothing's been done with them,
Yeah.
and
Well,
now they're just canceling the contract. So
yeah, they cancel. Yeah, Henry Cable's not Superman anymore.
right, well, he wasn't Superman, then he was Superman, so there's always the possibility it could change
Yeah.
again. Um,
He needs to come over to the MCU and make some good superhero movies. Even though I did like him as Superman.
yeah, he
I
was
thought he
good as
did a really
Superman.
good job. I thought Man of
Yeah,
Steel was a great movie.
yeah.
I thought Man of
I
Steel was probably one of the best DC movies.
yeah. Uh, well, DCEU movies because there's like if you
Yeah.
look at some of like the Batman films and all that, that are outside of the DCEU.
Yeah, I'm talking about the DCEU,
Right, right,
which is what it is now, basically.
right. Well, I mean the Batman with Robert Pattinson isn't part of
Was
that.
outside of it. I know that's
Mhm.
like we've had that argument, we've had that conversation before. That's like that's where DC has really screwed up
Mhm.
and not kind of followed that Marvel blueprint.
Right. Well,
Because
they wanted the Marvel money, but they didn't want to put the work in.
yeah, yeah, and they had a couple of movies that made Marvel kind of money, but it just didn't. It wasn't enough of it.
Right.
Because I think Wonder Woman was one of the biggest grossing movies of the last several years. That did
Yeah,
great.
Aquaman did okay. I mean,
Aquaman
obviously,
was okay.
yeah. They wanted Avengers Marvel
Yes,
money.
and
They
you're not
didn't.
going to get that.
You're not
You're
going
not
to
going
get.
to get that.
Well, they thought
Marvel
they.
Marvel doesn't even get that.
Well, right, but they thought they would get that off of Justice League
Yeah.
because
Except
in
for
Justice League is
they
they didn't
didn't put
put
in
the
the
work in.
20-year work to get to that
Exactly.
though, like
That's the
Marvel did.
key. Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
key right there.
Yeah. And then they rushed it, and then but the Zack Snyder version is an infinitely better movie
Oh yeah,
than what was
I
theatrically released.
actually enjoy watching the Zack Snyder version, even though it's 4 hours long.
Yeah. I saw the original theatrical release of it first.
Right.
Actually, I think I saw it in the movie theater.
We did. I
And
was with you. We both went and saw it.
I thought it was an okay movie. It
Yeah.
just my issue with it seemed really rushed.
Hmm.
Everything seemed rushed and kind of short. They didn't really fully flesh out
Explain.
really any of the characters or anything like that. And that's where the Zack Snyder version of it really kind of corrected a lot of those mistakes.
Right.
But even with the Zack Snyder version, there were still aspects of it that should have been their own separate movie
Perhaps.
prior to being an ensemble movie.
My guess is that because there's a lot of like setup, like little tidbits of things that aren't paying off in this film, but they're going to pay off in other films.
Yeah.
And I think part of that has to do with like they were expecting this to be Avengers. So,
Yeah.
if you make Justice League, you got to make Justice League 2 and 3.
Yeah.
And that's the only problem that I found with the Snyder cut is that there's just a lot of little things that are set up. I mean, the whole ending too.
Yeah.
Um or not ending, but like the extra scene or whatever it is.
Yeah.
All that stuff is set up for sequels, and it's just never going to happen, and
No, it's
that's
not going to.
disappointing.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You
So,
know, that's the thing when you watch an MCU movie, a Marvel movie, is, you know, you'll watch a movie and then 10 years later, you'll see another Marvel movie and you'll be like, oh, that was in that other movie I saw
right,
years ago. Okay, well that all makes sense.
right.
And DC just doesn't have that.
No,
Even if
no,
you take something like Suicide Squad, which is a really good movie, but they spend like it feels like the first 3 quarters of the movie just putting the team together, you know?
yeah,
Uh,
which is
you know,
true.
it seems like they didn't want to take the first 5 steps to make a movie like that. They
Did you
wanted to
see the
go,
second one?
yes.
I haven't seen it yet.
It wasn't as good. It
Oh,
wasn't
okay.
as good.
Because they spun off that Peacemaker character on HBO Max,
Yeah.
the John Cena character. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Those are characters I've never really read the comics for those.
Yeah.
So,
I was always more of a Marvel guy than
well,
DC,
I was
but
more DC, but it was kind of the bread and butter DC,
yeah, yeah, because
the
that's the
Trinity as they call it.
yeah, yeah,
Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman kind
yeah.
of
That was
thing.
always the only thing from DC I ever read was just Superman and Batman.
Right.
It was really it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's nice to see Brendan Fraser getting some work and you know getting back at it. Uh, you know, he definitely looks very different than we did, 20 years ago
Well,
making
yeah.
those mummy movies. But
Right. Well, he's aged, and I mean,
yeah,
haven't
and
we all?
he's had a lot of health problems also. I'm not sure what health problems he's had, but from what I've, you know, the little bit I've looked into what happened to him, it all always kind of references a lot of the health problems and stuff that he had
Yeah.
too that kind of
Yeah, I never
all
read
kind of
anything about
compounded
that,
it.
but I never read anything
Yeah.
about that, but you know, he's older than us, isn't he? He's got to be in his 50s now, right?
He's definitely older than us. Let me look here.
Oh, 50's not far off for some of us, Nick.
That's true. He's 54.
Yeah, see, there you go. He's about
So
10 years older than
yeah,
me, so
yeah. So I mean, I guess it's a little bit older, but
mm,
I don't know. He'll always be Link from Encino Man.
right.
It's a great
Mm.
movie. Grew up watching that movie. I always loved that one. But
Encino
that's not.
Man with honors.
Oh yeah, With Honors is another great
Mm,
one.
yeah, it's actually I saw a clip of it in one of my Facebook reels recently. I was like, I need to watch that movie again because I haven't watched it in ages.
Yeah.
I don't even know where to find it on streaming, unfortunately, but it's
Oh,
got to be on there somewhere.
I've got I've got it on DVD. At least I had it on DVD, and I ripped it to one of my hard drives. But
Yeah,
you know, so I got a digital copy of it somewhere. But that's not what we came here to talk about today, though.
I
So
didn't
first,
come anywhere. I'm sitting in my bedroom.
that's very true, Ian.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be talking about January new releases. I feel like there's a lot of them though. But
There's a
what?
lot of not a lot, but there's a lot of the independent films, the foreign films. I've noticed there's a
Yeah.
lot of those.
As far as you're right. As far as like big budget movies, there's nothing really coming out like in theater wise, but there's a lot of like new to streaming stuff that's going to be out. The
Mm.
Menu is an album, not an album. The Menu is a movie that's it's on HBO Max already. I need to watch that though. I'm definitely interested in checking out that one.
Mm.
Um, there was um Teen Wolf the movie. I'm sure
Yeah, I
this one
saw that.
you'll be interested in.
I'm no, because
I know,
as
Ian.
far as
I said that as a joke
I'm concerned,
because
there's just
it's the
one teen.
MTV, it's the MTV Teen Wolf.
Right. As far as I'm concerned, there's only one Teen Wolf movie. Two, if you want to be,
Eh,
complete us with the sequel.
I was not the Jason. I was not a fan of the Jason Bateman version of Teen
No,
Wolf.
but you know, I have them both on Blu-ray
Yeah.
because they came in
Actually, I
a
just watched
set.
the first one not too long ago, probably within the last 6 months I watched it.
Yeah, yeah.
All the
That's a
Rocky
brilliant film.
movies. What's that?
So it's a brilliant film, Teen
Yeah.
Wolf.
All the Rocky movies are on Netflix as of the
Yeah.
beginning of the month.
They're doing a 4K upgrade on all of them up to part 4. For
Oh,
some
are
reason,
they?
they're not doing 5 and 6, and I don't know why.
Probably because it's like, I don't know. 1 through 4 is like the classic Rocky movies, though.
Yeah, but if you're gonna do the whole series, just do them all.
Yeah.
Why not do 5 and 6? 6 did well in the theaters.
Yeah. Um, and I was wrong. Only the first 5 Rocky movies are on Netflix. The sixth is not.
Okay. Well, I think it's was it in the same studio? I know it was all the same producers, but
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't know.
The Mummy is which we were just talking about Brendan Fraser. He's the you can watch The Mummy on Hulu as of beginning of January. There's a lot of horror movies and stuff there that are new to streaming this month also,
Hmm. I've seen
which
a few. I want to see that Megan movie. That's coming to
is that
theater.
that's
I
when
think
is that?
today. I think it comes out today, or time of recording, I should say.
Yeah.
It's out.
What else is coming out?
Uh,
Which one did you say that was?
it's called Megan.
Oh yeah, it's got the 3 as the E, the 3.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
What is that one about? I know it's just a horror
Uh,
movie, but
well, I think it's a little bit different than that. I get like Deadly Friend vibes from it, but so like this company creates this AI like doll best friend type thing
yeah,
robot, and I don't know what happens. I don't know if it goes crazy or if it's the hero. I have no idea, but I know it's a horror film.
okay. Yeah, I just kind of pulled up, was glancing at it.
Mm.
The doll looks kind of weird and creepy.
Well, I think that's kind of the point.
Yeah, well,
Uh,
obviously, Ian.
uh, there is a
um,
movie coming out on the 13th that I'm kind of curious about. It's that Tom Hanks movie, A Man
A
Called
Man Called
Otto.
Otto. That was the one I
Yeah,
was gonna bring up. Yeah,
just because it's actually it's like the second version of this movie because I don't know if it's a British film or a French film, but it's the same movie.
yeah,
It's just you know. So I'm curious. I want to watch this one first and then watch the other one because
yeah.
they were being kind of made at the same time. I wouldn't say one's a remake of the other. So because I think they're based on a book or a play or something anyway.
It
So
says next to the list I brought up, it says A Man Called Otto is an adaptation. So
which of a book, of a script, or a play of what, you
yeah,
know.
it could be a lot of different things. That same day, you got the remake of House Party being released.
Really, I didn't even know about that.
Yes. Yeah. It
Do people even have house parties anymore? Is that still a thing? I mean,
probably not.
in that kind of a house party.
Not like that. At least not that I
No.
know of. I don't know. I was never having I went to very few
House
ragers
parties.
like
Yeah.
Kid and Play went to in the original House Party series.
Yeah. I was gonna say they made 4 of those damn movies.
Did they really?
I think yeah, at least 4.
I think Kid and Play were only in the first 2
4.
or 3. Were they in all 4
Well,
of them?
as far as I know the 3 for sure. I don't
Yeah.
know about the 4th one. Um,
Um, there's a The Devil Conspiracy comes out that same day.
yeah, I don't know anything about that.
Yeah. A powerful biotech company launches a breakthrough technology allowing them to clone history's most influential people with just a few fragments of DNA.
Huh,
Yeah. It's listed as a thriller. Looks kind of interesting. I don't know. It's something that I probably wouldn't go see in a theater,
right.
but who knows? Maybe I'll stream it whenever it eventually makes its way to a streaming service.
Kid and Play
Late.
is not in House Party 4,
Okay.
but they are in 1, 2, 3.
Okay, so it was just the first three.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
interesting. Um, then you got Alice Darling coming out.
I didn't see that one on that list I had. What is that about?
Well, let me click on it here. It says that is coming out. Alice Darling comes out January 20th. It's got Anna Kendrick in it.
Okay.
A thriller about a woman pushed to the breaking point by her psychologically abusive boyfriend. I don't
Hmm,
know. It's listed as a thriller.
interesting.
I don't recognize any of the other people there in the movie though. So Anna Kendrick is the only one I know.
Okay.
Charlie Carrick from the Wolf and the Lion.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, I don't know. Has the only other like build name on there, but so you got that coming out.
Plane. Movie Plane. January 13th. So this I saw the
Oh,
trailer
that's
for
gonna
it.
be an IMAX also.
Yeah. So the premise of this movie is that a convict is being moved from somewhere to somewhere, and he's being moved on a commercial jet.
Okay.
And the commercial jet crashes in like, I don't know, jungle somewhere where there's like warlords and stuff. And the pilot has to trust the convict to help him get out of it alive. That's what I got from the trailer.
That sounds like several other movies.
It sounds terrible to me. And the
Is
title,
it,
it's called
does it have like
Plane.
a Jewel of the Nile kind of vibe
No,
to
to me it's more like God, you're right. It sounds like a lot of other movies, but
it? It does.
um more it's got a way more serious tone to it, at least from the trailer.
Okay. Well, it's got
I don't know.
it's
Gerard Butler's in it.
yeah, he's in it, so I'm not a fan of his movies. Like I off the top of my head, I can't think of any.
That's because he makes movies like this.
Yeah, well, what was the one movie where he was like protecting the White House and like he had to save his? It was
Uh
like Die
uh
Hard in the White House, where he's like
well no, it was
he had to like save the president and like save his daughter or something like that. I don't remember what
it's
the fuck it was.
yeah, Olympus was
Channing
fallen
Tatum
or
made the exact same kind of movie.
right. It was
I don't know which
Olympus
one
has
was which
fallen
though.
or something. He made two of them. There was a sequel with the British version, but he was in it. He got to save the prime
Um,
minister too, I guess.
really,
Mm.
man.
I think it's called Olympus has fallen or something like that. It's whatever the code name is.
Well, yeah, I know that movie, but I don't remember if that was his movie or if that was the Channing Tatum movie.
No, that was his version.
Okay.
I don't know. I
Well,
don't know what Channing Tatum's version was.
it was like the exact same fucking movie.
Yeah. Well,
I
that's
don't remember the
Hollywood.
name of it was though.
That's Hollywood for you.
Yeah, I know. If one movie does good, we'll just remake it 14 times.
Right.
And
Sometimes in the same month.
jam it down your throat. Well, yeah. Well, when did what was the other movie that they did that with?
Well, it happened with Deep Impact and Armageddon,
Yes, yeah, but
Dante's Peak and Inferno,
yes, those were all came about
or
around or came
Volcano.
out around the same time.
Yeah, they were all being made at the same time. So it was like they didn't copy
Yeah,
each other. They just happened to be, coming out at the same time.
January 26th, the end. There's going to be a movie. I guarantee you're going to be in line for probably the night before it comes out.
Okay.
You're going to be. This is probably going to be your number one movie of the year. Left Behind: Rise of the Antichrist.
With Kevin Sorbo.
Is he really in it?
Mhm.
Oh my god, he really is in it.
He does all those Christian movies now.
It's
Yep.
terrible.
Well, I mean,
I will say that a couple of them, I've seen a couple of not none of the ones he's done, but I've seen a couple of them that aren't terrible. But I've seen far more of them
Are you
that are
talking about
some
the
of the
Left
worst
Behind
movies that.
movies?
No. I've never seen any of the Left Behind movies. I'm
Oh,
talking about like the Christian theme movies. I've seen a couple
oh,
of them that weren't terrible, but I've seen like most of the ones I've seen are like easily some of the worst movies I've ever watched.
everyone I've never seen a good one.
Yeah, I've seen a
Because
couple of them that were okay. I didn't say they were like great, but because like most of them, like the biggest, I mean, obviously we'll have differing points of view of the content of the movie,
right,
but most of the movies are like made by like normal people who
right,
don't know how to act. Like that's
right.
that's my biggest issue with most of the movies.
I wouldn't say they're normal people though.
They're normal people.
Oh, well,
They're non-actors is what I mean, Ian.
not actors. Okay,
And it's very very obvious in most of the movies.
right.
But that's about it as far as like new releases, as far as like theatrical releases go.
Mhm.
Like I said, there's more stuff that's gonna be out like new to streaming.
Right.
There's a bunch of great movies that are gonna be out. Like I said, the big one for me is gonna be The Menu, which is already out on HBO, so I need to watch that. Jurassic World Dominion
Yeah,
is on Prime Video, which I like the first two Jurassic Park movies. I think were the ones I really liked,
I
and
saw
it
the
had
original, the first one, and then the first Jurassic World movie, just because I was working at the video store and I had to watch it,
yeah.
and I wasn't impressed with that. The original Jurassic Park is fine because it's it is what it is.
I
But
think it's, for me at least, it's the cast that makes those movies what they are. And from what I understand, this most recent Jurassic World movie is good because they brought back all those older characters. All the characters from the first movie are back, at least the ones that
right,
are alive. Sam
yeah,
Jackson. Sam Jackson is not in it.
well then they're not getting my money.
He died in the first one.
I don't care. Sam Jackson not getting my money. Anyway,
Uh,
I've heard that the story for it is terrible for the last one, and
I
I've
mean,
actually heard some people
the
say that
story for any of them wasn't good. There was none
no,
of them where we're like,
the
I guess
original's
the
believable
original
enough.
one. I mean, it's very fucking far fetched, but okay,
Mm. I
because they
mean,
used like mosquitoes, didn't they, to like synthesize dinosaur DNA?
well, because they got the blood from mosquitoes that they
Yeah,
had. Yeah,
yeah, I know. It's not realistic, but obviously, it's I don't know, it's Hollywood stuff. But the first one, the story was not bad.
right.
Uh, the last couple of ones where they're like training velociraptors and things like that to be like horses. I don't know what the hell was going on in some of those movies. Like,
Roll over
yeah,
now. Eat people.
yeah. No,
Jesus,
what's that one guy's name?
Chris Pratt.
Yes, where he's like, I don't know, he's like a velociraptor trainer in one of the movies, isn't he?
In the first Jurassic World movie, because he's working at the park or whatever it is,
Yeah,
the Sea World version or the Jurassic World version of Sea World, I guess, the
yeah.
dinosaur version of Sea World. So I don't think he's necessarily training them because he doesn't have any control over
Well,
them.
no, because he's got like there's a couple of them he like knows. I'm gonna use air quotes for people
Right.
listening to the podcast, but he's like, oh
Yeah,
no, this one's our friend. We can trust this one. Like
I think they all still turn on him at the end, but again, I
they
didn't
should all
like
fucking eat
him.
him.
Well, yeah. You know what? It's funny.
In real life, all the dinosaurs would have eaten them all. There wouldn't have
Yeah.
been a sequel.
I the more I see Chris Pratt, I don't really like him. Like Guardians is fine. He's good in that.
Outside of Guardians of the Galaxy, I'm not a fan of his movies.
He's good in Parks and Rec, the show, but it's an
I've
ensemble
never seen
show.
it.
It's like The Office, but a little bit more lighthearted, less
Yeah.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
because there's a lot of uncomfortable shit in the office. There's one episode I can't even watch.
Why is that?
It's just so it's called Scott's Tots, and you find out in this episode that this deadline has come up. Michael Scott, the main character, Steve Carell's character, like 10 years before, went to this school for like career day kind of thing, and he told this class that if they all got good grades, he would pay for their entire college because he assumed
Okay.
he'd be rich by time that happened. And now the 10 years is up and he's not rich. Far from it.
Yeah.
So they like throw this big parade for him or a big party for him at the school, and he's got to go tell all these kids that he can't pay for their college.
Oh,
And
that's
they're
great.
like inner city kids, yeah. And it's just a very uncomfortable episode to watch.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those shows I never really got into. I need to go back and watch, but
like I said, I've told you, start at season 2.
yeah,
You,
I
you,
need to because, like I said,
yeah.
I watched season 1. It wasn't. I don't know.
No.
Nothing like made me want to watch more of it.
The good thing is season 1's only 6 episodes, but still, it's unnecessary.
Maybe I did watch into season 2 then, because I feel like I watched more than 6 episodes of it. I don't know. I'd probably just go back and start over and watch them. Just force myself to make it through that first season, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. It's 6 episodes, so I guess if you're gonna do it, you can do it. But I forgot where we left. Oh, Chris Pratt, Jurassic World. Yeah, he doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah, outside of
Guardians.
yeah.
So and that's Guardians 3 is coming out this year, and that's going to be the last Guardians movie with that cast. So
Yeah.
I may not ever watch anything with Chris Pratt again after that.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. Like I said, I watched those Jurassic World movies, but they're not. I don't know.
I didn't see the second.
I was never a
Jurassic
big
World.
dinosaur guy either. So
Me neither. It was like, well, by the time that movie came out, I mean, I was 15, you were 14.
Yeah.
It's kind of past the dinosaur age,
Yeah. But I don't know. I felt like there was a whole lot. There was some good stuff coming out this month. I don't know. Maybe I need to like start watching more movies, I think, but it's just hard for me. I just don't have a whole lot of time when I do watch things that's segmented.
Right.
Watch bits and pieces of it. But
Yeah.
I don't know, I guess we can kind of leave it there. Was there anything else you wanted to add, Ian?
No, there's a lot of great movies coming out this year. January is a little on the weak side.
Yeah,
but it usually is.
I feel like, after the holidays, because there's like a rush at the end of the year, typically, of some good movies, a couple of bigger movies like Avatar and things like that. And then beginning part of the next year is normally pretty quiet. But
Right.
I don't know. There's some good
Still
stuff to see.
February and March will be much better.
Will be bigger, yeah, definitely. Because once we get into March, you start getting closer to what's the next Marvel release? Is it
I think that's in March.
Ant-Man?
No, it's not until June.
What's the next Marvel release?
Let's take a look.
I don't know. It's gonna bother me now. Because I think there's 3 or 4 movies coming out this year.
Yeah, there's a few. So
Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's 2023, right?
It is. Oh yeah, you were right. February 17th, actually.
Yeah. It's February. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you were closer. I was thinking June. But I'm super excited about that. I'll be in the theaters to see that. I mean, we'll talk about it more. And then Guardians is in May.
Yeah.
Across the Spider-Verse, I didn't see the first one.
It was okay.
But the Marvels comes out in July. I'm definitely excited about that. I really liked Miss Marvel on Disney Plus.
I haven't watched it yet.
I liked it.
Once I'm done watching Friends, I'm gonna go through and watch some of those. There's a couple of Star Wars series on Disney I've got to rewatch or watch.
Andor's really good. It's a bit of a slow burn, but it's
Is
fantastic.
it?
Yeah, it's fantastic. The
Um,
Bad Batch, that's new this month.
well, I
That
oh yeah,
it's
yeah, that was
it
yeah, it's
started
on.
streaming yesterday. The first two episodes dropped, and Anne Rice's Mayfair Witches dropped on AMC. Plus the first episode, but the real premiere is Sunday.
Okay,
So there, we can add that to the list too if you like Anne Rice books. So it's part of her immortal universe that their AMC's doing, which is the Vampire Saga and the Mayfair Witches, which at
yeah.
some point, or at least in the books, come together. I don't know if they're going to bring them together in the series or not.
Well, this is interesting. I'm surprised that Marvel isn't releasing an end of year movie. They typically do something like towards the
Uh,
fall. But after the Marvels, that's the last thing until the new Captain America movie next year.
which I'm
Yeah,
super excited about. Their upcoming slate, I'm very excited about.
yeah, because you got Captain America, you got Thunderbolts, and then you got Blade, and Deadpool 3
Yeah.
in
Well,
2024.
Deadpool and Blade, I'm not. I could do without them, but I know Blade's actually part of the MCU, whereas
Yeah.
Deadpool is not,
Well, it is now.
and it's still separate. I think.
No, it's not. It's the very first movie in Phase 6.
Oh, it is part of the actual MCU now.
Yes.
How are they gonna?
And
Are they
and
gonna do it R rated?
yeah, it's gonna have to be.
It doesn't have
Um,
to be. It's
no,
Disney.
but
They can do whatever they want.
that's true. And it's supposedly gonna have what's his name back as Wolverine.
Oh, it's not. Supposedly, he's definitely coming back for as Wolverine.
Well, yeah, but I don't
Hugh
know if
Jackman.
is he listed. See, he's not listed in the
Everything I've seen, he is him saying he's back. Ryan Reynolds saying he's coming back. They
yeah,
do promo. I mean, unless they're just trolling everybody, but they've even
yeah.
done promotional images and stuff.
I was never a big fan of Blade, but
Yeah, no,
Mahershala Ali is playing Blade, so that's why I'm interested in seeing it. He's a
I'll definitely
fantastic
watch it, but
actor.
it's not something I'm. I have a hard time reconciling my mind around like supernatural, like horror supernatural, and like sci-fi
Yeah,
supernatural. I don't like it when they blend too
blend the
much.
two. Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, it's okay sometimes. Like you can do like Alien is a slasher movie in space, but it starts itself out as a sci-fi movie. The
yeah,
slasher element is secondary.
yeah.
So you can have the horror and the sci-fi, but it's like
You got to walk a fine line there, I
right.
think, and you know,
I guess the problem I have is vampires are a uniquely human thing, human
yeah,
mythology. So how does that work if they're real on Earth and you've got, Thanos coming and wiping out half the, you know, half the galaxy?
yeah.
Were vampires affected by that?
I
Because
guess we're gonna find out
they're not technically people, they're not alive anymore. So,
theoretically. Yeah, I
yeah.
don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see how it plays out. I'm gonna, like I said, I was never a Blade fan, but I'm gonna go into it with an open mind. Like I
That
said,
being said, I mean the Blade movies are good, the original ones.
with Wesley
But
Snipes.
yeah, but they weren't part of the MCU. So like
Yeah,
I would be more excited about Blade if it wasn't part of the MCU. It was just its own thing.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Some of those movies that they've done outside of it, like um, what was it's they're not part of the MCU, but they're part of like the Spider-Man universe.
Oh, Morbius and all that.
Venom, yeah, Venom and Morbius.
Well, the first Venom, I guess, did pretty well. The second one was, from what I heard, garbage. I never saw either one of them,
I
and I
heard
had
I haven't seen Morbius, but I heard it was really really bad.
that's what I heard too. Um, but that's
But
Sony.
those aren't.
Sony doesn't know how to. They don't know what to do with their product
That's exactly what I was
properties.
gonna say. Is those aren't Marvel Cinematic Universe movies. Those
Right.
are Sony Spider-Verse movies.
Right. But that it's the problem there is Sony.
Yeah.
Whereas if Disney and Marvel did the Blade movies outside of the MCU, they at least know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They could do it. But
Yeah.
Sony doesn't know what they're doing. They don't know how to handle their properties. They
No,
haven't
no.
they screw it up every couple movies anyway.
Absolutely.
So
It's gonna, I don't know. I think
Spider-Man
it's
hasn't
gonna
been consistently good until it got to the MCU.
absolutely. But I'm interested to see. I think it's going to be a good year for movies
I think so
and
too.
TV and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I don't
There's
know.
quite a few shows and movies that I'm super looking forward to.
Absolutely.
This year, so.
But I don't know. You can always email us at entnowpod@gmail.com. Check us out on Facebook, on YouTube, and anywhere you get your podcasts at. That's all we got. Until next time,
Talk to y'all later.
peace.
Play my role, let me tell you about it. This shit right here, man, I'm about it. Only real niggas reside around me. Yo, lady, drop a guard around me. Dip like I know you can, bitch. Show me the ropes like we in the rain.